Nate Diaz, his coach, he says that Nate Diaz will need at least $20 million for his next fight.
That's fair.
Is it fair?
Yeah,
I think
fair.
he said 20 or 30 million, somewhere around there.
That's fair. Well, but in this, the hold him, and they're right, and I agree. Nate should get paid that much, if not more. But so his coach goes on to say at least 20 to 30 million. Perez told Submission Radio, "Come on, UFC's making a whole lot of money, and they're pocketing it. They're giving more to McGregor, so it's not fair." Well, this is where they fuck up. So they're giving more to McGregor, so it's not fair because it takes two in that ring to draw a crowd. I mean, it's two good fighters. It's just like Mayweather when he fought Berto. It wasn't even sold out at all. It was embarrassing because the guy couldn't draw a crowd. See, that's what I'm saying. It's the fighters that draw the crowd. Nathan and McGregor. Third one would be outstanding. Everyone knows. So he needs to get paid $30 million. I agree. He needs to get paid $20 to $30 million. The hold up here is how much they can pay McGregor. Because McGregor's stock is the highest in the world. After Floyd Mayweather having a good outing there, making, especially if the pay-per-view number is 6.5, and I heard it's even more than that. So he gets a percentage of pay-per-view. Floyd's getting percentage. So let's say he makes $140 million off that last fight. You think he's going to come back to the UFC and fight for anything less than $40 million? And that's being conservative. You're crazy.
Yeah.
You're out of your mind. In what world... if you're at a negotiation table, is WME going to be like, we need you to fight Nate for 10? And Nate, we know the two fights you fought him in, which were these wars, and you got paid a total of $2.5 million. We need you to fight him for $2 million. Good luck getting that together. If you go to Conor and say, hey, we're going to give you 10 mil, Nate, we're going to give you 2. There's no way. You're not even in the same ballpark, man. So that's going to be the holdup of this fight. You got Conor McGregor with the most negotiating power of all time in the history of mixed martial arts. Not even fucking close. Mm-hmm. Not even close.
If this does happen, this trilogy,
it will happen. I guarantee that's the next fight.
Do you think that's going to affect all the fighters payment wise after this?
You have to get to a certain level because, and Nate's been smart about this. Nate has been waiting for Conor for this opportunity because the payday's so big. That's exactly what he should do. Nate would not sell 2 million pay-per-views, 1.5 million pay-per-views if he fought Tony Ferguson, Khabib, Kevin Lee. That's not. It's just that's not what the market is. Oh, you're a hater on Nate. I'm not a hater on Nate. I like Nate, but Dana White's been on record saying this. You look at the history, the numbers. He's not in the same ballpark as a Conor McGregor as far as superstardom. He's just not. In the MMA community, we love him, but as far as crossing over and getting those other, attention from all these other media outlets, he's not at that level. He's been very smart and calculated by not fighting until he gets to Conor McGregor. Now, with the trilogy, which I think is going to be the biggest UFC event of all time, will it break 6.5 million? No, come on, don't be fucking crazy. It's going to break whatever the UFC record is, which I think is held by Conor.
Do you know what it is?
You got a fancy computer there. I'm sure could tell us. You're strict, so I forgive you, but I'm going to have MJ take a hand to your face.
5th century? What the hell?
No, that UFC pay-per-view record. God damn it, it's just giving us the goddamn...
Do you think the weight's going to make an advantage for either fighter?
Having
to drop weight?
I think you're gonna get the best of Conor McGregor and the best of Nate Diaz. We're gonna find out who's actually the better fighter. At 70, that was a shit show for both of them. Mm-hmm. Nate had a more of an advantage in that fight.
Yeah, 1.6.
So let's just go through the biggest pay-per-views of all time. UFC 202, Diaz-McGregor 2, 1.6 mil. UFC 196, McGregor-Diaz 1, 1.3. UFC 205, Eddie Alvarez, Conor McGregor, 1.3. UFC 100, 1.3. I think the greatest lineup of all time. Aldo versus McGregor, 1.2. Lesnar Carwin, I was on that, 1.1. I like to think I had. They did 1 point, so they did 1,160,000. I like to think I contribute at least 50 to those.
Probably
50 pay-per-view buys. All at your boy. All at your boy. Smash Chris Tushishar in 30 seconds. All at your boy. And then you got Rousey coming in, Liddell. Yeah. Not even close. Look at those.
Yeah.
So, when people say, God, GSP was such a big star. Such a big star. He was so big. He's the biggest of all time. His biggest pay-per-view he ever did was against Nick Diaz and Demon Break a Million. So was he that big of a star? You could say that when he fought Nick, it was in 2013, so it's a different animal. Still. Lesnar Carwin was in fucking, what was that, 2010? God damn. Wow. That was 7 years ago? I fought in the UFC 7 years ago? Holy balls. So 2010, so not that long ago. Wow. It's interesting though, right?
Yeah. Cool. Look at this.
That's very cool. Just this shows you how big of an animal Conor McGregor is and how much power he has in the grand scheme of things. Now, Nate's going to be somewhere in there. I guarantee you Nate could. So Nate's just as big a star as George St. Pierre. I'm going to take heat for that. That's ridiculous. Number-wise, I bet you Nate could pull in 950,000 pay-per-view buys.
Yeah.
The trilogy would be big. Imagine all the Stockton clap shirts that people are wearing.
The trilogy fight, biggest fight of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Such a good fight. It's the best UFC fight of all time. It's an amazing fight. But the guys have to get paid like it's the best fight of all time. Like it's the biggest pay-per-view of all time. So again, if you're Nate Diaz's team, if you're Conor McGregor's team, we all know this. I'm not fucking Nostradamus here. We all know this. Their team knows this. So they're going to the UFC going, yep, you want to make this happen? Biggest card, end of December, that New Year's card. This is what we need. And then you got to deal with these animals. This is what McGregor needs. This is what Diaz needs. Both those guys need to win that fight.
What do you mean?
They both need to win so bad. Conor, there's more pressure on Conor. Way more pressure. Because he's going from, he had a good showing against Floyd Mayweather. We know him as this UFC beast, right? It's like, but if it's in the UFC, you'd smoke him in 30 seconds. You did that. You have all this fame. You have all these new eyeballs on you now. You get paid more money than God once you do sign this deal. Now you got to perform, which he will. I guarantee he does. But it's just there's more pressure on Conor on this fight.
So you're saying no less than 40. You think he'll take it for 40 mil?
Yes.